overall working here for 13 years. I've made my life, started from scratch basically. So when I moved here, I started working as a dishwasher. Definitely. So my name is Devendra. I've been working here as a cook for almost 5 years, as I mentioned. I moved to Canada almost 13 years back. Back in India, I did my hotel management, which I thought would definitely help me to come out of the India and find a job in a nicer country, which I indeed found it. And since moving to Canada, I've been working in kitchen. So I did work into some 5-star hotels here in Canada. I did some restaurants as well. I worked into a big banquet facility. So in 2015 or so, I got my red seal, which is required here to work in Canada. And after getting that red seal, I started to work. Right now, my job here is just to cook some Indian food, and I've been doing that for like quite a long time. So I can say that I have a good hand in Indian cuisine as well. With Indian food, I also cook all the Western food. So whatever, like you can tell me prime ribs, I can cook prime ribs or pork chop, anything you name it, I should be able to do it. Little bit about myself is like in terms of my family, I have my wife, my kid, and my two kids.
Yeah, how old are your kids now?
Oh, so my daughter is 6-year-old and my son is 4-year-old. So my daughter goes to grade 1 and son is still not going to school. So as you know, here, like once they complete 5 years, they would start going to the school. So he's still not going to the school. So next year, by next year, I mean this year, September, he will start his school. That's about myself. Overall working here for 13 years, I've made my life, started from scratch basically. So the big myth here that we have, if you have a good experience back home, when you move here, you would have a nice job. Definitely you would have a nice job, but there is a little bit of struggle like everyone does. I'm pretty sure Ariel also would have gone through the same stuff that I would have gone. So when I moved here, I started working as a dishwasher. So I was not like I didn't become a chef like right away. I started working as a dishwasher, and then I worked my way up until the point I got my red seal certification, and then life was a little bit easier. What would you like to know more about me?
You're living over here in Calgary too, right?
Yes.
How long have you been living here?
In Calgary, almost 10 years now.
10 years now. Wow. Yeah. How do you compare life in India and life in Canada? What's the big difference?
So if we look at the big difference, the mainly is the food. I'm pretty sure most of you must be missing the Filipino food.
Yeah,
as
of
well,
course.
like Grillo and Charbon.
You're right, yeah.
Looking Mark Winn's video, he was in Philippines. So even like same, I knew so many people miss the food. So the biggest difference is the food. But if you keep it apart, the life in India probably is better. Because you can work your job and then you can meet your friends. Here it is really difficult to have friends. Like I'm not saying I don't have friends. I do have really good friends, but the life in India is like you can go anytime to weekend, do everything, because you can hire mates. Like probably with you also is the same thing. Like you can have someone to clean up your house.
Yeah, you're right.
In India, we also have like somebody for cooking, somebody for cleaning, somebody for doing laundry. Here you have to do everything. So I work Monday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday we have to do grocery, then you have to do cleaning. So life is really not difficult, but right, you have to plan your life. Like you cannot just, okay, I'm going for vacation. No, you have to plan for your vacation. You have to plan for small things. So if you like purely just comparing the life compared to here or India, if given an option, I would choose to go back if given an option.
If you don't mind, how much your rate right now per hour, and do you think that's enough for monthly expenses?
Right.
Like for example, just one job.
With one job, right now with the inflation, it is really difficult. But even without inflation, working as a cook, to run the family of 4, not possible. Like impossible. Because here in Alberta, you know, like minimum wage is $15, right?
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
All of us make $15 an hour. So $15 an hour, if you calculate it to a monthly expenses, you cannot even afford the rent. So with my wage at this point as a cook, I should be able to run my family easily, but there is a little bit of struggle. I cannot say that I can work with one job and run my family. I need someone like a stable income in my family as well. So if my wife and me both working, everything is fine. But if not, then I have to do one full-time job and then one part-time job. Then the life is a little bit open. You could save something. If you buy the house, if you buy the car, then life gets really difficult because you have lots of bills to pay. and then saving becomes really difficult. So with my cook's salary, just working one job, I don't think so running family is easy.
You have to pay everything like insurance, maintenance of your car, utilities.
Utility bill.
Yeah, you're right.
Utility bill, winter time you pay like for my house average, I have my own house which we bought 7 years back. Just for utility we pay $350
Yeah.
a month. And if you calculate $15 an hour and you work for 40 hours a week, just you can do your calculation and you would know like what it comes to.
Yeah, you're right, you're right. Sometimes it's not enough.
No.
Some you only eat soup instead.
Luckily that
Right?
luckily that day hasn't come. But like as I said, I work 2 jobs, so this morning I bought some fries for myself.
Wow.
Like didn't even have
Well,
time to
actually,
eat.
that's a
Yeah.
good treat, though. What is your message to all the family wants to come here, or even to the individual person wants to come in Canada?
It depends on person to person, like basically.
Let's say
If
in
we
job.
terms of job, at this point, like if you look at the immigration that Canada is doing, they're expecting 500,000 people by end of 2025. I'm just guessing. I think it may be 2025 or 2026. 500,000 people. That's a huge number. At this point, I think everyone individually is struggling to get a job. Like everybody is working either 2 part-time job, 1 full-time job, 1 part-time job. So there are not enough jobs. So if you're coming here, let's say if you're below 25 years, I would recommend no problem. You can come, then you can struggle in your life. But if you're over 25 or let's say 40 years and you have family, if you have a good life back home, I would suggest stick there, because grass is always green on the other side. You always think, oh, if I go to Canada, I can make a big life. It is true, but then there is a lot of struggle that you go through. So it's better if you have family, loving family, they're looking after you, and if you are settled where you are, I would recommend not to move here. But if you're struggling where you are at this point, like lots of struggle, it's up to you. You can move here, you can make up your life, but the job market is really tight. You have to struggle for, let's say, at least 5 to 10 years just to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Then even after settling down, sometimes with the economy, recession, the chances of losing job is higher as well, right?
Yeah, because right now it's a big difference. No, it's way back 10 years ago. It's easy. Yeah, you can find a job. The employer will okay you're hired.
Yes, you can
but
come
right
from
now,
work.
yeah, it's competition.
Most of them are well educated.
Yeah, when you're coming over, it's like back to zero.
Yes, seriously, like most of the people who come work in a fast food restaurant, like let's say if you are a manager back home in one of the 5-star hotels, when you come here, straight away, impossible to be a manager, even at the even at the restaurant. You have to make up your way because the process is different. Like just to give you an example of the dentist, if you're a dentist back home, if you come here, you have to clear that gap bridging. It takes like 3 to 5 years, and then you will be a dentist. By the time you're a dentist, you're like, okay, more than enough. Let me start doing whatever I can. At least I can survive. So that's the difficult point. I'm not saying everything is bad. Obviously, there is a life. I'm just going to say. So I came here. I started with $11 an hour. Right now, I make enough where I can support my family here as well as back home. But as I said, always there is a struggle. But life is happy. You get to choose your own time. You can work on your own time once you settle down, and you can afford. Basically, like if you make money, you can afford. Like just to give you another example, if you want to buy BMW, you can buy BMW, definitely. But you have to work hard for that BMW, and you can afford.
Right.
You can have to buy big house, like a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, and can say life is good, you can afford it, but you have to work hard for that. So that's my message. If you're ready to work hard, definitely this is the right place for you.
All right, yeah, thank you very much, guys. Hope everyone understand what Davinder says. Let's cut this video.